Good morning. It's Saturday. It's June the 7th. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about uh, Summer Game Fest, and I wanted to talk about State of Play. State of Play came out on June 4th, and I watched Summerfest last night. I just happened to notice it was on. I forgot it was on, but then I didn't. But I didn't have to work today, so I was like, you know, I decided to watch the Summer Game Fest on a couple of YouTubers on their channel, but then I switched it off their channel and I decided to just watch it on I just typed in Summer Game Fest and I watched it. But anyway, I haven't talked about video games lately because I just ain't got much to talk about. But I just want to drop my little thought. You know what? There's always something for you guys to play. Always something for y'all to play. The only reason why I'm saying this is because uh, a lot of times I notice I used to get on YouTube just to see what people would say about State of Play. And then I also used to get on YouTube again just to see what people say about Summer Game Fest. So I decided to watch it myself. And I didn't wasn't like most people like glued to it and all excited because I'm a casual gamer. But the point I want to make is that when I watched it, Summer Game Fest was 2 hours and some minutes, State of Play, uh, it was kind of, it was a little bit over an hour too. I think it was over an hour or so. But here's what I was thinking to myself. I was thinking to myself, like, there is so much to play. And I, down last year, the year before, I noticed that when I watch a lot of YouTubers, I don't have many people I follow on YouTube anymore. Matter of fact, I'm backing off on YouTube. Uh, but I always listen to what they say, and that's cool. And their opinions are very valid, I guess. But when I watched State of Play, it made me sit back in my living room and I was sitting there going like this. I was like, wow, man, there's a lot of stuff that these developers and these companies are trying to do to please a lot of different people. And a lot of stuff on there I watched, I was like, okay. And I kept saying, stuff like that. I was like, wow, that's different. And these are all my reactions to it, right? Because, I'm a casual gamer. So uh, after I watched State of Play, then I heard something about Summer Game Fest was supposed to be the next day through this YouTuber I get on his site every now and then. So I got home yesterday, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I ain't got to work Saturday, I love having the weekends off, I'm pretty current on my bills and stuff, it's not been hot yet, and it's been nice outside temperature wise. So I decided to watch Summer Game Fest, and it was pretty impressive to me. And the reason why it was impressive to me is because, again, I said to myself, I was like, I just sit back in my gaming chair. I was like, that's different. And I just, all these are all things I kept saying. I kept looking at TV and I kept going, wow. And there was a couple of them that jumped out at me. Now, there was a couple of them that jumped out at me, not to where I want to actually buy it, but to just, uh, I was interested in it. That Resident Evil one, that one they had at the end of the Summer Game Fest, that one, I like the Resident Evil. And people turned me on to Resident Evil. I finished the Resident Evil 4, you know, and it took me a while to beat that game. Resident Evil, I think it's Resident Evil 4, but I can't find it right now. It's in here somewhere. Every time I go to look for something I want to talk about, I can't find it. Yeah, Resident Evil 4. Anyway, I played it and I liked it and I beat it. So they had that at the end of that. And then they had a couple other things in there that looked very interesting. So this video is all about me saying that I don't know how you cannot find anything to play. I also feel for the developers and stuff because when I was watching Summer Game Fest yesterday, I was seeing how they were really trying their best to, do a really good show, and how they was on stage, Jeff Keighley, whatever that guy's name is, and some of the people he had on there, and how he was trying to present stuff like that. They really are trying their best. I just think that people just cannot be pleased. I really can't. I just think they cannot be pleased because this is the things that I was saying to myself. I was sitting there going, they're not doing really too bad of a job. He's out on stage. He's trying to, he's got people out, and there's people that's actually attended. Had some people had guests. Had people come up and had certain people come up and talk about certain games and stuff. Had this woman walk up there one time. They had another woman walk up there. They had a guy up there and was talking about again. I mean, I thought that they did a good job with the presentation, and these thoughts came to my mind. I was sitting there saying to myself, man, they really are trying hard. I just think that gaming companies, even though they have done a lot of things that disappointed a lot of people, I just feel like they have their hands full because people are just too damn hard to please. They really are, folks. You're wanting one thing and then you don't get what you want. You wanting to see this reveal and they have to try to spread things out. Now you got the Xbox showcase, I think, coming up, and I'm quite sure they're going to try to do a good presentation. But overall, folks, I think that the state of play wasn't that bad. Why is it wasn't that bad? Because what I think what was neat about the state of play is that they showed games. I had no idea they make games like that. Some of those games I'm not a bit interested in, but not enough to where I could sit there and go, well, state of play sucked, and the state of play, that was a waste of time. I mean, it wasn't a waste of time because I wanted to see, I'm interested in seeing how these people are playing all these different games. Take, for instance, I was at work the other day, and I had my phone. And you know how your phone got all these little apps, right? And you could play some of these games when you're bored, right? So there was a couple games that popped up, and I didn't want them. I didn't want them at all. It's just phone games. It's free to play. But I was looking down, and I was on break, and I was looking down. I was like, that's an interesting game. And I watched their little thing where you can show you how to play it. And I was like, wow. So if they could be that creative on putting these little game apps on your phone to where you could play these games, some of those, there's one on there that's called, I don't play it no more, but it's where you have to find these items. And so you're looking at the screen and you have to find these items and you have to highlight them and you got to find them. It's just little simple stuff like that. So, I mean, mine is word search. Now, when I get bored of break, I don't feel like talking because I like to sit by myself. So when I'm in the break room, I don't get on YouTube because I'm trying to break myself away from YouTube. I'm always on it like I was on Facebook. So I was sitting there, I was playing word search, and they got that on the phone. So in defense of state of play and Summer Game Fest, what I'm trying to say here is that I don't really think they do a bad job overall, period. I just think they got their hands full because I just feel as though they're never going to make everybody happy. They're never going to make anybody happy. And with the amount of backlog games that I have not beat yet, and I sometimes I just don't feel like playing video games. I just don't. Sometimes I just don't feel like watching movies. I just don't. I just rather go take a walk or ride my bike. I don't know. It's just there's so much that I feel like they're trying their best at. I just think they're just trying to please a bunch of spoiled brats, just a bunch of spoiled brats. And you get these YouTubers, and this is something that I've been noticing. That's why I'm backing off on YouTube. YouTubers that make money and they're big, they got their little following. That's all they do. They get on there and they complain. I didn't like it. They didn't. Where was this and where was that? But the problem is, what are you going to do when you get the game? You're going to blow through it, and then you're going to be bored again. You're going to blow through the game. Watch. All these new games that'll come out, they'll blow through them, and then they'll be complaining about they want to play something new. I don't know anymore, you guys. Folks out there, I just don't know. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I literally watched the state of play. Am I saying did it blow my socks off? Didn't blow my socks off at all. Was I disappointed with it? No. How could I be disappointed when I didn't know what I was watching? I was watching what they were trying to promote. Because all the games that they got out there that they put on state of play, there's someone out there that plays those games. I got a phone. This new phone I bought like last year, it's brand new. But anyway, some of the games that the phone has on there, I play. And I would never think I would ever play those games on there. You see what I mean? But I play them anyway. So it just goes to show you that someone out there will play these games in spite of all your complaining, in spite of all what you're supposed to be looking for, because sometimes it takes a long time, to develop these games. They put all that time and effort and all that money in developing games, and then they turn around, man. You got all these people, man. They get them and they blow through them. As soon as the game dropped, it'd be like, "Hi, you guys. I played the game and I want to give you my thoughts." I'm like, "Damn, man." I was like, "Shit, that game just came out like a day ago, boy. You blew right through that." But a lot of times they get the early. Some people get early review codes and stuff like that. But I don't know, you guys. Summer Game Fest, I thought they did a good job yesterday. I was very impressed with that. Actually, that was the first time I actually sat down and just watched it. I got up and did a couple things, but I had it on my surround sound, so I was just hearing it in the background. But I was like, wow, I said, man, they're doing an all right job on this, man. I was like, and State of Play, I was watching State of Play. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. So overall, this is almost 12 minutes long. Summer Game Fest and State of Play, I don't see anything wrong. What I am saying is that if you can't find nothing to play out of all these, then you just hard to please. Now, is there anything that I found that I want to play in State of Play? Maybe. There was one on State of Play that there was a couple that I would be interested in. A couple. And then there might have been a couple on Summer Game Fest. But as far as me to get in front of this camera, which I don't have that many people to watch this channel, you're here to say, well, that was a bust, or I was disappointed, or I wasted my time, or that wasn't very good, or anything. I don't think you can sit and say that State of Play wasn't very good. It depends on what you're looking for. It just depends on what you're looking for. Some people, they just always looking for something bigger and better. But sometimes, these developers, man, they just want to make something, you got to make something for everybody. And I think for both, Summer Game Fest was yesterday. State of Play was Wednesday, June 4th. And I thought both of them did a good job. So I kind of enjoy watching those things now. Now that I look back at it now, I was like, wow, I enjoyed myself watching Summer Game Fest, and I enjoyed myself watching State of Play. So I don't look for anything. Yeah, if there's something that comes out that blows my mind, I was like, wow, man, that looks impressive. I can't wait to play that. But the only game that I am buying this year is I'm buying, if it comes out this year, is that new Metroid game for Nintendo, because they're making it for the Nintendo Switch, because I don't have the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not buying it because I play these systems, but not that much, so I'm not investing anymore in hardware. So anyway, that's all I got. God bless. Take care. You guys enjoy your weekend and be safe out there. Catch you next video.